An international break. Liverpool didn't show it. They've put Watford to the sword at Vicarage Road by 5-0 to go clear at the top of the table by 2 points and a Roberto Firmino hat-trick. But it was up and running, really, after just 9 minutes. Sadio Mane with a special milestone goal, John.
Yeah, and it was the worst start Watford could possibly have. They're defending deep. They're defending in where they're supposed to be defending deep, defending in numbers. You can't allow that space for Liverpool players to run into. Salah, Mane, they're so quick, and it's a fantastic ball by Salah. You know, when people talk about there's a competition between them, you don't make a pass like that to your teammate if there's competition between you. It's a great ball.
Yeah, I mean, far too much space. We think with Ranieri, they would have been really compact. They weren't. You know, the wing backs were too high, and when you play players like that, they punish every mistake. Again, Messina, poor ball, and then they're just off. You know, they're too open. Watford. You know, you said Ranieri think defensively they'd be compact, not tracking runners as you see there. Milner, it's too easy. I mean. Look, Liverpool were fantastic. They were clinical. But Watford, it's going to take some time to get this all sorted out. It's only Ranieri's first game, so it's hard to be critical. But I think he'll be worried at the fact there were so many open spaces and they weren't compact like he wanted them to be.
And we spoke about making the change to a back four, which they actually did, and they did better. But still, nevertheless, and this was unfortunate, you know. Of course, I'm delighted for Bobby Firmino for Liverpool. I don't necessarily like the law, because for me that should be offside. It should be offside, but we benefited from now. But in terms of the ball coming from Andy Robertson, Watford were probably had a better shape. If you look at the shape they have here now, it's a back four. Everyone is in good position. They're unfortunate because the ball comes in. Cathcart, unfortunately, has to stretch, which would have been an own goal. But Watford didn't do anything wrong there.
Owen?
Yeah, look, Mo Salah's in offside position. Cathcart, there's no way he's going to leave the ball for somebody to go and tap it in, you know, and obviously he has to play the ball, and it's not given. But, you know, I'm with John, I think it should be offside. But look, they made too many mistakes, Watford. We saw it time and time again. Look, they're just skipping by people. Danny Rose there, again, Cathcart, and another tap in for Bobby Firmino. But when Liverpool move the ball this quick and they're this sharp, and then they get in front of goal, they're just so clinical. All the players just... no mistakes, crosses, they're on the end of it, and they're just a dominant performance. And I'm with John, really. He's such an unselfish player, Bobby. Everybody loves him. Jota's started the season terrific, almost had a new front three, but great for him because I think all his teammates love him.
Yeah, his first Premier League hat-trick since December 2018 for Roberto Firmino. So let's talk about that goal that made it 3-0. Both the guests in the studio, you just heard, they thought it was offside.
No. We thought it should have. We don't think it is, but it should be. It should be offside.
OK, well, let's speak to Dermot Gallagher, a former Premier League referee. Dermot, why was this left to stand then?
This is Mbappe Garcia 6 days later repeated, isn't it? The law says, is Salah in offside position? Yes. Is he interfering with play? No, because he doesn't touch the ball. With an opponent? No, because of the distance between them. So what happens, the game goes on, you see here, as Robertson plays the ball in, Cathcart makes a deliberate attempt to play the ball. As it comes in here, you roll it on. Cathcart there makes a deliberate attempt to play the ball, and at that point, Salah isn't offside. You know, he's not given offside. Foster makes the save because it would have been an own goal for me, and it follows in its goal. I'm with John and Owen. I don't like the law, but referees might not like the law, but they have to apply it. It's their Manish.
But as Dermot said then, the second thing he said was, is he interfering? Is Salah interfering with the player? And obviously they may say no because of the distance between them, but he is interfering with the player. Because what he has done, he has made Cathcart go for that ball.
Yeah.
Now, if Salah is not there, he's not going to go for the ball. So he has made him go for the ball.
And you're right, John. Watch him check his shoulder twice. Look, so is it essentially he is kind of interfering with his...
And he knows he's
being worried about the cross, isn't he?
So he's made him go for the ball.
Salah's gone for the run early, right?
Yeah, well, either he's gone too early or the ball's come too late. However, he has affected Cathcart because if Salah is not there, Cathcart lets that go for a goal kick. So why is he going for it? He's only going for it because Salah is there in an offside position. But the law, as Dermot rightly says, doesn't protect that situation, so therefore legally it is a goal.
Yeah, so they've spoken here, Dermot, of course, of the defender, essentially going against his natural instincts, or having to obviously dummy the ball, allow the ball to go across the goal with the threat of a goal. But after what we saw with Mbappe and now today, it has highlighted somewhat of a grey area, and we have seen regulations changed with a slight nuance. Do you think that might happen here?
I don't know, Manish. What I do know is that I do feel for the defender. It's very, very harsh because every instinct will say, I've been brought up since a schoolboy to try and clear that ball. That's what I'm going to do. I don't think any coach would allow him to let that ball go and take a risk that Salah wasn't offside.
OK. Clearly, Dermot has a bit of sympathy there. Dermot, thanks very much indeed, former Premier League referee Dermot Gallagher. Now, it looks like Mohamed Salah is running his own Goal of the Month competition. We saw what he did against Manchester City. What about this one? Was this arguably better for you, John?
I would say yes, because in a much tighter area. You know, what he does here in a much tighter area, because against Man City, he was running 20 yards. Here, he's got a 5-yard area to work with so many bodies around him. It was an incredible goal.
He has no right to get out of there. I mean, honestly, the guy is playing absolutely out of his skin. Absolutely. Right now, the best player in the Premier League, you know, arguably maybe even the world of football right now, the form that he's in. So
absolutely.
The quality of that, just to even stand still for that second, just to freeze all those defenders.
The composure.
It's ridiculous. And watch this for a chop, by the way. Yeah. Chops Cathcart with his weaker foot. I mean, everything about that is just pure class. And his finishing is so effortless.
And you know what coaches would say? Don't let him go out. Don't let him come back onto his left foot. Yeah. Don't let him come on his left foot. What did Man City do? Yeah. Don't let him come on his left foot. Yeah. What did he do with his right foot? He scored. That's what he did.
That's right.
So as much as you can criticise him and say, oh, you know he's going to come back on his left foot, against Man City he didn't. He went on his right foot and he scored.
He is a man at the peak of his powers. Let's hear from him.
Top of the table, that was a devastating display from start to finish, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good. I cannot say it differently. The boys, you know, after international break, it's always tricky to come back, to find the rhythm, coming back from all different countries, playing different systems, having different football ideas, stuff like this, and then bringing together to our idea again. We have one session actually for that, and the boys did incredibly well. Can't say it differently. I think the Watford had an idea today as well, but we didn't let it happen. We were so dominant. And yeah, played a good football game, could have scored more, but all fine, obviously.
Yeah, I think you had 80% plus possession in big stages of the game, but the goals were magnificent today, weren't they?
Yeah, I think that I thought there were moments when we had 90% pretty much, but after the 4-0 we stopped a little bit defending. They actually started playing after we scored a fourth goal. It makes not too much sense, but yeah, no, it was good goal, a good game, and brilliant goals. Come on, really brilliant goals, all of them. Good energy level, good attitude, really, character. I like it. The boys just were pretty serious today, and that was important.
Mane got his 100th Premier League goal. Firmino gets a hat-trick, but we still have to talk about Mo Salah's goal, which was just wow, really. You have to find a new way to describe it.
Oh, yeah, but the performance today was massive, I have to say. Really, it was absolutely outstanding, and his performance, the whole team, but his as well. So first goal, super pass, all these kind of things, but then his goal was absolutely exceptional. So obviously he's now in the mood to try it in the box. He tried before a couple of times, no problem, strikers can do that. That's the place where they have the best protection, let me say like this, most players behind you. He did it, he scored a goal, really good.
It was like dancing on ice. He says he feels as sharp as ever.
Looks like, yeah. Looks like. So hopefully, long may it continue. That's how it is. We obviously need the boys in this kind of shape to achieve what we are dreaming of, and that's it.
To come, Atletico Madrid away on Tuesday, and then Manchester United away on Sunday. It's the start of a crucial week, but they're looking fine fettle going into it.
They're a team who can make changes, I don't mean wholesale changes, but bring people into play and who will still do a very good job. It's Liverpool, so, and he doesn't make excuses in terms of the opposition or in terms of injuries and stuff like that. So I'm feeling very confident about them.
For Claudio Ranieri, it's the worst possible start. It's his biggest ever defeat in the Premier League. Let's hear from him now.
Claudio, that scoreline must be a huge disappointment to you. What happened today?
Oh, I think we conceded too many chances to them. Of course, Liverpool is a very fantastic team. When I came, I knew I had to work very, very hard. We consider some goals were some hour present for them. They don't need this, but I'm sure we can improve. We had to improve.
Is this job looking bigger than you thought it was?
No. When I came, I knew everything, you know, and then I'm now very worried. I watch something very badly, but also I watch something very good.
What was the very good part that he's alluding to there?
Liverpool. Liverpool was a good part. I mean, I didn't see much good from Watford. I mean, but I think he'll look at it and realise that they have to be more compact. You know, they have to be more organised, defend better. The spaces they allowed Liverpool was far too much. So I think when he sees that back, he won't see much. In possession of the ball, they were probably as bad as you could be in the first half. Second half, they had a better go, and maybe that was the shape that worked.
Yeah.
But I didn't think there was many positives. I thought Sissoko played okay.
Yeah.
In the game, he competed, but you know, I think offensively and defensively, it wasn't there for them.
But John, do we need to take into account the title contenders' opposition and the fact that they're without 3 first-choice centre-halves?
Yes, and this is his first game. You know, and unfortunately for him, it's a heavy defeat, so obviously confidence is going to be low. But I think Watford fans and people will be realistic enough to know that. And of course, when we say it's a free hit, you don't want to lose 5-0.
No.
But it starts now. The work starts now. And I think the players like him. And I think what he saw from them was their heads didn't really drop. They still gave 100%. Almost so they're doing the wrong things. They were still trying. And that's what you want. You don't want players losing not to give 100%. First game. You know, and unfortunately for him, it's a heavy defeat, so obviously confidence is going to be low. But I think Watford fans and people will be realistic enough to know that. And of course, when we say it's a free hit, you don't want to lose 5-0.
No.
But it starts now. The work starts now. And I think the players like him. And I think what he saw from them was their heads didn't really drop. They still gave 100%. Almost so they're doing the wrong things. They were still trying. And that's what you want. You don't want players losing not to give 100%. And I can't say any of the Watford players didn't do that.
If they've had enough of Merseyside opposition, they're away to Everton next weekend, who themselves are enjoying a good season. It doesn't get any easier, does it?
No, and he's going to have to settle on something. You know, defensively, he changed the shape at half-time. You know, so second half they're better. So maybe he goes to a back 4. Maybe he plays 4-4-2. There was a lot of speculation. The wing-backs definitely didn't work, but obviously in possession of the ball cleverly came on. I think he gave them something a bit more, maybe makes them a little bit more better in possession. So there'll be things, I think, when you come in, you got to chop and change and find who you can trust. So I think he learned something in the second half. The performance was better, but still a very, very long way to go, especially with the fixtures.
Absolutely.